إلهي أسألك بأعز من ناجاك وأفضل من دعاك أن تمطر على قلبي شآبيب عطفك وسحائب رضاك. الحمد لله رب العالمين. MashaAllah, the last retreat, it was the same theme, healing through gratitude indeed. There is only gratitude that could heal us. And we try to cultivate gratitude through the knowledge of the most beloved Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and also we try to find our healing through connecting to him and through knowing him, through demystifying few things, and we have used the book of Qadi Iyad الشفاء بتعريف حقوق المصطفى, and the healing. The title of the book was The Healing. Alhamdulillah, the brothers have kept the same theme, though we are going to talk about something different. We are going to same. It's the same endeavor. We will try to heal through gratitude. Absolutely. Healing is the need of the time. That's the need of our time. Yes, because we are sick. We are all sick, and the need of our time, the wajib of our waqt, is to find healing. Because if you do not find healing, you cannot fulfill any wajib. You cannot really do what you are meant to do and what you have in your potential to do. So healing is finding your potential again. Healing is finding yourself again. Healing is finding your power again. Healing is liberating the power that God has put within you. And we said through gratitude, because we see that the thing that imprisons the soul and weakens the soul is the lack of appreciation or the lack of gratitude. That's the thing that makes the soul really weak and disempowered. I mean, lack of gratitude. Lack of gratitude, it means lack of appreciation, because lack of appreciation will lead to lack of gratitude. Gratitude is not a moral obligation. Gratitude is something natural that comes as a result of real appreciation. The real gratitude is not a moral obligation. You cannot come to someone and tell him, you ought to be grateful to God. You cannot. You can't. I mean, you can tell me that, but still, I will tell you, oh, thank you, yes, thank you. I'm really thankful, but I'm not. I'm actually resentful. I'm not feeling any gratefulness. Gratefulness, gratitude, to be grateful, to feel that gratitude, it's a feeling, it's a natural feeling. It's a naturalization that comes as a result of real appreciation. And real appreciation is a consequence of, or is the fruit of, real knowledge. So knowledge and gratitude are synonymous. In Arabic, both of them, they come to the root arafa. Ma'rifa and irfan. Arafa, to know. Irfan is gratitude and recognition and thankfulness. عرفان الجميل معرفة من عرف النعمة شكرها, says Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The one who actually comes to know the value of a ni'mah, of a bounty, of a favor, he will be grateful for it. Or actually, that's being grateful for it. Knowing the ni'mah, that's being grateful for it. Appreciating the ni'mah, that's actually being grateful for it. So we need to appreciate. We need to appreciate. One of the things that we do not appreciate today, and we need to, and actually if we appreciate it, if we come to liberate the power of that thing, we can become very powerful beings. We can become very, very, very liberated beings. We can become very, very, very healthy beings. We can go in this universe and really not tear it down, but make it flourish, really, and play the role of the Khalifa, play the role of some people they translate it to the vicegerent, but play the role of the farmer, of this earth, of the gardener, steward, gardener, the farmer and the gardener and the servant of this holy land. The Holy Land is not Jerusalem. The Holy Land is this whole Mother Earth. That's the Holy Land. This is the whole land is a holy land. The whole land is a holy land. That's what the Holy Land is. It's the land of God. There isn't one single parcel that's not holy. The whole land is pure and holy. So this whole land is consecrated for worship, if you want, but also deeper than that. Masjid, what's the sujood, sajada? We said sajada means to be able to erase or to be able to melt in the divine. That's the meaning of the sujood. To be able to melt in the reality of God, to be able to melt in the divine of God. So the whole land is a temple where if you enter, if you meditate, you will find God. You will find God. You'll find that reality waiting for you. So this tool that we need to liberate from the routine, from the deadly routine, from the dead weight that has become very many things. I mean, everything, even reciting the Quran has become just a dead weight for the majority of people today. One of these tools that we'll focus on this time is prayer, conversing with God, talking to God. Just when I tell you that, just when I say talking to God, conversing with God, already we have some liberation there. Because we forget often that it's about conversing with God and talking to God. We forget. Because we make dua. We do not converse with God. We make dua. What's dua? I mean, had it been dawa, it would have make meaning. Dawa, at least medication. But making dawa without taking it doesn't make any. It doesn't heal you. But dua or dua. We make dua. We make things. We do not live things. And we should stop making these things. Yeah, we should stop making prayers. We should stop making du'as. We should stop making hajj. We should stop making these things and we should start taking these things. We should start taking these kitab, these means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving to us to actually, this rope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that God is giving to us to save ourselves, to liberate ourselves, to empower our souls, and to be able to merge with his way of looking at this universe, with his way of designing this universe, with his way of wanting us to be in this universe. الدعاء مخ العبادة, says Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. الدعاء مخ العبادة. Dua is mukh al-ibadah. Again, it's not the dua. It's not these things that you read with transliteration without knowing the meaning. It's not like, wait a minute, before entering to the masjid, I have to déchiffrer, I have to decipher these words that like abracadabra, and I do not even understand what it is, but I have to say it in Arabic no matter what, because somehow God is only Arabophone, and I have to say it in Arabic. It says Allahumma iftali abwaba rahmatik. You do not need to. You do not need to. That's very stressful, barakallahu fik. That's very stressful. And that kills the purpose. That kills the purpose. Just say it with your, just smile to the door and feel that God is opening His doors to you. That's you, Sarzana? No. Yeah, Yeah, it's all of us. I mean, even Arabophones are not. Arabophones is even worse, you know, because if you are not Arabophone, at least you are stumbling, and so there is some time for you to wait a minute. What I'm saying here, what I'm doing here. But if you are an Arabophone, it's just that's it. Huh? And we are on the phone. Okay, it's just we have to do it. We do things because out of guilt. We do things out of because we ought to, because we have to, because we must do, and that's not. That kills the purpose. So dua literally comes from da'a yad'u, and that means to invite. To invite, not to call, to invite. Because to call is nida. Huh? Calling God is nida. Dua is to invite. Tad'u, al-mad'uun, the people who are invited. Dua, da'wa, invitation. It's basically a dua mukh al-ibadah, inviting God. Inviting the presence of God. Inviting the presence of God. Inviting the deep reality of God. Inviting that dimension, that deep dimension within you that's actually able to feel God, to sense God, to touch God, to speak to God, to listen to God. Inviting that inner dimension in you to be present in whatever action you do is mukhul ibadah. That's the marrow, that's the heart, that's the secret of life, of the al-ibadah. That's the secret of life of the spiritual journey. That's the secret of life of the spiritual journey. And any quote-unquote act of worship. Mukhul ibadah. There isn't one single quote-unquote act of worship that doesn't have that inviting God in it. But if you're not inviting God in your salat, what are you doing? If you're not inviting God in your fasting, what are you doing? If you're not inviting God in your hajj, what are you doing? What are you inviting? What are you communicating with? What are you trying to revive? What are you trying to bring? If you are not inviting the reality of God, if you are not inviting that inner dimension within you in the same time, because you're not talking God, it's not something outside sitting there. You are inviting Him to come closer, sort of. He's in the seventh heaven now. He's going to take an elevator and come to the first heaven to be closer to you. That's not how it is. That's not how it is. Inviting God is inviting yourself. Is inviting that deep reality within you, that deep dimension within you that is able to actually converse with the eternal. Inviting that eternal within you. Inviting that eternal dimension within you. Ad-du'a mukh al-ibadah. Inviting God is the marrow of the spiritual journey. Now, and the brain as well. Mukh means the brain. Mukh also means the heart. Mukh is the inner. But if we have become today brainless and heartless, because we are not having that dua, we are not having that invitation, we are not actually inviting God to witness, to be with us, to teach us, to take us by the hand. We are just, making noise, religious noise, mumbling prayers out of guilt, because we are programmed that I have to mumble these prayers before entering to that place or leaving that room or doing this or doing that. The art of talking to God and actually talking to God and conversing with God is an art. It is an art. Conversing and talking with God is an art. Anything, because when you bring your heart in something, then it is an art. It is an art And the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they have excelled in it. And we can read in the Quran many beautiful prayers. We find in the Quran many beautiful prayers. And we find in the prayers of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself many, many, many beautiful prayers. Though because maybe they were very condensed and very short, and what have reached us is very short. And yes, indeed, the prayers of Rasulullah, of the Prophet himself, they were very short and condensed. Indeed, he utiya jawami al-kalim. He did not use to speak much. He used to spend 99% of his time in silence, in silent meditation. He wouldn't even spend lots of time like in long munajat. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophet, his munajat would be one sentence or two, and after that he's just silent for hours. He would be silent, shivering. People witnessed him. They witnessed him. Said he would stand up silent, shivering like the palm, not the tree, the leaf. That whole thing is a leaf? The branch. Yeah, it's just a leaf, subhanAllah, but it's a branch. Like the palm branch in the wind. They would see him like that for hours without saying anything, without uttering any word. And his prayers, they were very short, alayhi salatu wasalam. But what have reached us is even shorter than his actually prayers. I mean, one of his longest munajats was the munajat of Ta'if. Allahumma, who knows the munajat of Ta'if? When they have thrown stones on him. But that's the end. How the Allahumma inni ashku laka ضعف قوتي وقلة حيلتي وهواني على الناس إلى من تكلني إلى بعيد يتجاهمني أم إلى قريب ملكته أمري إن لم يكن بك سخط علي فلا أبالي إلا أن عافيتك هي أوسع لي أعوذ بنور وجهك الذي أشرقت له الظلمات وصلح عليه أمر الدنيا والآخرة من أن يحل بي غضبك من أن يحل بي سخطك أو ينزل علي غضبك لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لك العتبى حتى ترضى لك العتبى حتى ترضى إلا أن عافيتك هي أوسع لي. جميل, very beautiful مناجات. We have that one. We have يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك أستغيث ومن عذابك أستجير أصلح لي شأني كله لا تكلني لنفسي ولا إلى أحد من خلقك طرفة عين ولا أقل من ذلك. We have few of them, but actually the longest dua that we have of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is and the more like the closer to what we call conversing with God is the one of Ta'if that has reached us. When he was when people were throwing stones on him at Ta'if, and he found that little refuge in one of the farms, and then he sat and his servant Sayyidina Zayd was with him. He heard him mumbling that prayer. So he actually recorded it in his brain, and he transmitted it to us. رضي الله عنه وأرضاه عليهم سلام الله أجمعين. The prayers of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, other than this one, the majority, they were very, 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 very condensed, and they are very powerful and very condensed. That's why there was a need for those who came after to actually elaborate, develop them more, in order for the words to touch the hearts and the brain at the same time.